Hi, it's Cheryl. Welcome to Me, You and Yarn's first tutorial for the Falling into Winter knitted shawl. This pattern is free on Dropbox right now, and hopefully in a week or so from the recording of this it'll be up on Ravelry as well. The links are in the description box below. Also in the description box you'll find a link to a wonderful YouTuber, Maryna, from 10 Rows a Day, who graciously allowed me to demonstrate her alternate cast on to the garter tab. She developed this method. I've changed the first little bit, but you'll find a great tutorial in the link below to her method and how she starts the alternate method to the garter tab. What you'll need for today's tutorial are the knitting needles that are associated with the yarn size you want to use, 4 stitch markers to use on the needles, and 1 stitch marker to use to mark the front or the back. I like these little locking ones. So before we get started, I just want to do a quick little demonstration of how to do the back loop increase. And this is for anyone who doesn't know. It's easier to do while you're not knitting and just practicing on one needle, I find anyway. So pop a slip knot on your needle. So what we're going to do is hold the yarn between our thumb and index finger, twist it towards the tip of the needle, and then insert the needle and tighten up the loop. I'll do that again. Hold between the index finger and thumb, twist up and towards the tip of the needle, and then slide the needle or the loop onto the needle and tighten up. You don't have to yank it really, really tight, just snug it up. Again, over and towards the tip of the needle and slide it on. And that's how we do the backward loop increase. We'll be doing that a few times in the setup rows, so it's good to practice so that it's almost a natural movement for you to do. Remember, you can slow this video down or speed it up. Okay. All right, so once you've practiced that, you're confident that you can start. To start the cast on, we put the yarn over our needle, and it doesn't matter if the tail is at the back of the needle or if it's at the front. Whichever way it goes on, it goes on. Just make sure your tail's long enough that you can weave in later. Now we draw it, we bring the tail in front of the working yarn so that the working yarn is behind the tail, and then I just hold the tail against the needle with my other hand. And so we have one loop on our needle. We go in as if to knit, and we knit the stitch. Oops, I'm a bit close. So we go in as if to knit the stitch, draw it back, but we don't take it off the needle now. What we do is we do a yarn over and go into that same stitch again, knit it again, and then we can take it off the needle, and we've got 3 stitches. I'll do that part again. So we drape the yarn over our needle, bring the tail in front of the working yarn and hold it against your needle, insert into the loop, and knit the stitch. Okay, we don't take it off yet. We wrap the yarn around the needle and knit into the stitch again. We snug it down a little bit. We have 3 loops on our hook, and that's how we start. So we turn our work, and our second row is to knit all stitches. Okay. Row 2 is complete. Row 3 we start with the a knit stitch, but then we do the back loop increases. So we knit the first stitch and then we do a back loop increase. So I'm holding the yarn, turn it round, pop it onto the working needle. Then the pattern says to knit the next stitch and then do a backward loop increase. Making sure not to split the yarn. Okay. And then we knit the final stitch. So now we have 5 stitches on our needle. We turn the work, and for row 4 we knit each stitch. So row 4 is complete. We've knitted all the stitches. Turn and work on row 5. Row 5 we knit the first stitch and then we do a backward loop increase and knit the next stitch, and repeat that all the way to the end. A backward loop increase and knit the next stitch, a backward loop increase, knit the next stitch, a backward loop increase and knit the last stitch. We should have 9 stitches on our needle at the moment. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay. Row 6 is knit all stitches. So the wrong side rows are pretty straightforward so far, just knit them. Row 7 is our final increase row. It's a little bit different. We only in the start and the end. We knit the first 3 stitches, and these stitches will become our border stitches for the rest of the shawl. So we knit 3 and then we do a backward loop increase. And knit 1, then a backward loop increase, knit the next stitch. And we do this until we have 2 stitches remaining. Backward loop increase, knit the next stitch, backward loop increase, knit the next stitch. We have 2 stitches remaining, we just knit those. And that's row 7 complete. We should have 13 stitches. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. That's the last increase row. And row 8 will be the final row of the final setup row. And this is where our stitch markers come in. So we knit the first 3 stitches. And then place a stitch marker onto our working needle. Bring the yarn to the front and purl the next 3 stitches. Place another marker, and this will section off. So we've got the border, then we'll have what I call the wedge stitches, and then we have the next stitch is a purl stitch. That will be our center stitch, our center spine stitch. So we put a stitch marker after that, and then we purl the next 3 stitches, and this will be what I call this second wedge, or just another wedge. Place the final stitch marker on and knit the last 3 stitches, which is the border for the other side of the shawl. And that's it. We've completed the setup rows for the shawl. What I like to do is just pop this other stitch marker on the front just until you get started, and you can easily tell which is the front and which is the back. So there you have it. Okay, I hope you found this tutorial useful, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now.